Well, that is for sure. But if you know Trackmania, Panda is definitely not a player you should scoff at. A very strong, but we are already going into the picks and bans. We see that the first ban in this case will be done by SCHWEINEAIM Racing. They ban arrow pipes yet again, ladies and gentlemen. No arrow pipes. We follow the trend of TMCL. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Gyroscope banned by NUMELOPS, and we get well, correction. Gyroscope banned by SCHWEINEAIM, and in this... Oh, no, I'm getting it all mixed up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in this case, we have number 1 map is reps, slow down, Slippy slides is 2nd, slow down is 3, back and forth is 4. Now I got it right, so it's blue team in this case is complex, so blue team is to... now in this case, red team picked... okay, I'm lost it already. My brain is fried. Quantum, help me out here. 550 agility dash. What is 6? Let's see, Quantum.
Well, let's
what
see
do you think?
It's going to be freestyle, and parkour gets picked as instead of flip of faith as our 7th map, if we do indeed need it. Whew, it's good. It's good. It's a good map. It's good. Listen, it's good as it is, and we get reps as our first map. Right, that's a very interesting first map, because reps is not a map that you often see players pick into, right? Teams don't necessarily pick into reps that often, and so as our first map, I think that's more surprising than anything else, right? Arrow pipes and gyroscope getting banned, I don't think that's too much of a surprise, right? Arrow pipes not getting picked too often. Gyroscope, the identity is that brings you for a ride. But reps, I mean, it is an interesting map.
It is a very competitive map because, of course, it is all the way. We can already see that they're warming up on the track as well. So there is a lot to look forward to here as well, hopefully. And in this case, my important part is, of course, that the maps as well. We see a lot of same trends, actually, not gonna lie. Because Arrow Pipes was a map that was not at all picked or was banned in this case, or left as last, and so far at the moment Flip of Faith is getting the same treatment. Flip of Faith, I do believe, was like 2 or 3 times left as a decider decision, and in this case, of course, we don't get it this time, but it seems that there's certain trends that even challenger teams are following in the likes of Trackmania Grand League, but reps, I think it's a good way to start. Very technical teams, both with Complex Panda and Ratchet Barbos. Ladies and gentlemen, it is almost here. We are starting in just a moment. A quick warm-up to make sure everything is running smoothly, everything is nice and tidy. You can see on the screen SCHWEINEAIM with Barbos Ratchet, ORKS GP NUMELOPS with Panda and Complex, and yet again Quantum. Once the warm-up is over, I think I'll give you the lead for this one. We had a good round when you started off in the last match, so I give you the right to give this blessing to this match as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be casting the warm-up this time around, right? That's not something you do. That's a big no-no, right? You don't want to be doing that. As Barbos and Ratchet versus Panda and Complex, ORKS GP NUMELOPS versus SCHWEINEAIM. Let's see if they can bring it together here. So far, so good, though. No mistakes into the first checkpoint as Panda leads, followed by Ratchet, Barbos, and Complex. Let's see if it stays that way throughout the round, though, as Complex gets himself into 2nd place ahead of Barbos, who loses a bit of ground. Ratchet's made a small mistake. He's behind by a 1/4 of a second, as we see Complex now taking the lead away from Panda as he starts to lose a little bit of ground on his own teammate. Barbos starts to catch up to Panda and Complex as well. Let's see as Ratchet starts to catch up to his own teammate as well, but he's still far behind the lead of Panda and Complex. Nearly 4/10 now as Panda has taken a big lead. Into the looping we go, and Complex just behind him. Let's see if Barbos or Ratchet can do anything about it, because this ace formation has stayed unbroken this entire time. First jump, very clean. Second one, cleaner. Oh no, that's a mistake out of Complex, and Barbos overtakes Panda, and this has somehow... Oh no, the clip, and it's an ace! Oh wait, that wasn't Panda! I thought that was Panda that was right behind Barbos, but instead it was Ratchet. It was Barbos. He overtakes him. It's an ace. How did this go from an ace for ORKS GP NUMELOPS to an ace for SCHWEINEAIM? Oh my goodness, what a first round. We start off very strong here.
Yes, and this is what Reps is. It looks so innocent, that identity, but those edges, those wheels are usually magnetized to those edges, and it's very easy to get a slowdown or a clip there. And as you saw, that final jump is the most stretches. You can go wide, you can clip your wheel, or you can get it smoothly. Usually you get the first two and hope to God that you cling on to that platform like PS Plus was trying to cling on to that win from that previous match, but unfortunately not as well. But we get to see, currently we have a draw situation with Complex in the lead. Currently Panda is a good perspective as a POV from the back as well as we go on to the looping as well. Important here as well, you want to take it as tight as possible, using the penalty grass to reduce your air time, but at the same time keeping your speed as you go with fourth gear. And again we go into the first jumps. Everybody gets it clean, no mistakes so far, but that final jump, Barbos clipping that side. Will Complex be able to hold it? And indeed he does. That's a crucial victory for Numelops in this case. Barbos with that mistake throws away the draw, but a bit of a nice light shining on Numelops. That was a lot more cleaner, and that is exactly what we're looking for. Close rounds, and hopefully Barbos can also give us a show where we get all of the participants getting that clean.
Well, let's see if this can stay clean as we continue on, because still a 4-2 lead here for the Germans. Can they keep it together though, as Panda and Complex, they're looking strong on this map, but it needs to stay consistent, right? They need to at least not make any mistakes if they want a nice round on their hands here. No one actually did the identity cleanly in the last round either, right? Everyone got a clip, and so everyone had the same speed. So let's see if they can do the identity cleanly here, as Ratchet, Complex, and Panda side by side. Can Barbos even interject himself into this conversation? Nice inside line. He'll overtake Complex for just a little bit, as that line from Complex, look at the speed it gave him. He's right now in the lead, but Panda right beside him with Ratchet slightly behind, but he can obviously catch up with a better landing. Can he land better than Panda? Yes, he can. Panda has a bad landing, but Ratchet does it badly. Panda does it badly, and Complex will win the round. Barbos will get second, and oh wait, Ratchet, he got it. He got it through.
Oh my God, Panda making some huge mistake in the final identity, and Ratchet even finishing in the safe win. He didn't even manage to hit the actual win you're supposed to go for. He went from the left side and got the safe finish in the end. It's a draw once again. SCHWEINEAIM keeping its league at 2 points, but it's not a comfortable lead. I mean, ace is at 3 points, and you can have just a flip of your finger, and this match can turn the other way around, as we get to see Ratchet making an early mistake. And this is a familiar sight at the moment. One of the SCHWEINEAIM members giving us a perfect POV of the entire competition, as Numelops members trying to compete for that first place. Barbos in the mix as well. Oh, Barbos making a clipping on that little platform there as well. And it gives a perfect opportunity for the ace for Numelops. What did I just say? If they get an ace, just like that, the map is turned around. But it is the identity, ladies and gentlemen, soon on our hands. But first, a little nice calm over the park. Nice grass section to calm us down, slow us down. And here we go. Ratchet has more speed than Panda. What do we get as a result? In this case, Panda makes it clean. All the top three make it clean. But who makes the early mistake? Complex slows down. And in this case, oh my God, Ratchet misses the whole finish, but he managed to get the safe finish. And Complex, it gives us another draw. It's just draws. Now, Reps notorious for his draws as well. It happens a lot on this match on TMCL. And Challenger proving to be the exact same story.
Oh my goodness, I mean, Barbos was so close to just getting the finish up there, and that would not have been a draw, right? So that is very rough if you're Barbos there, just missing the finish by just a little bit. But at least it's a draw, right? It's not an ace for ORKS GP NUMELOPS if you are a SCHWEINEAIM fan, as Barbos currently is in the lead. Complex statistics in second place, going for the overtake here. This is his faster section here in this part, because he does like his nice little entry into this looping. Look at the speed he brings. Look at how good he is out of that exit. He gains like 2/10 just by doing that looping perfectly. And that is so huge as they head on to the identity. Complex now in the lead. Barbos lands a little bit later. He'll have less speed than Complex, and Complex does the identity perfectly. This is looking like an ace, and it is! Big ace out of ORKS GP NUMELOPS. They take the lead after being behind the entire time for the first 5 rounds. And now at the start of round number 6, they're finally in the lead, but it's only by 1.
Yeah, that is the flip of the switch we're looking for. SCHWEINEAIM in the lead for the entire race. You get 1 ace and boom, reality kicks in. You're aware you are behind. The despair kicks in. You need to now deny an ace. It probably is the most worst feeling ever, because you know you only have to just get a 3rd place minimum just to avoid an ace. But in those rounds you sort of want to risk as well, because you want to get the ace as well. It's a perfect opportunity to set yourself up as well and to deny points. And as we can see, a familiar sight at the moment is Ratchet slightly behind, but it is a close round so far. Only a 2/10 separating all the players. Ratchet going a bit of a wider drift, but it allows him to go a lot more inside, taking over Complex. But Complex always takes a bit more speed, and it is basically neck and neck. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going over the penalty gas. Complex having a bit of an awkward line, loses a bit more speed, but it's still close enough to be a close round. Let's see who gets the identity. Barbos clips, Complex clips, it's Panda versus Ratchet. Panda is completely dead, giving Ratchet the window of opportunity. Barbos completely dies, and it's a draw at the end of it. Barbos had such a bad respawn, he had to double respawn that time, and that loses so much time. But a track point for every team at the moment. What do we get? Do we get the ace? Do we get the victory for NUMELOPS? What is to be served, Quantum?
Oh, this would be huge though. If it's a win for the Germans here, right, for SCHWEINEAIM, you find yourself in a situation where it's overtime, right? It's going to be 9-9. It's technically not overtime, but it is, because no matter what happens, right, if someone wins, then they are the winner, no matter what happens. So, it's technically overtime, as Panda currently leads over Ratchet, over Complex, and over Barbos. Let's see if they can keep it together here. Panda and Complex looking to seal this one away with a win of their own and keep away the Germans from winning this first round, this first map here, this first track, as Panda leads Complex, who leads Ratchet still. It is an ace formation, but the identity will say everything. Will they be able to keep it together here, or will this be a draw? Will it even be an ace for SCHWEINEAIM? As here we go into the last jump. Complex and Panda are perfect. It's an ace, an 11-7 win in favor of ORKS GP NUMELOPS, and they win the first map.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong in this case, of course, remembering all of the map picks is correct. This was SCHWEINEAIM's pick.
Yes.
They picked reps. So that means NUMELOPS take their map, and now they're going into Slippy slides. And this is a perfect thing. If you can get your opponent's map, it puts such a big pressure on to the other team, because you lost the pick. You first picked this as well, and you lost. This is now a big mental game. They have to take Slippy slides, and judging that NUMELOPS picked this first, usually your first picks are strong, but given what we've seen, anything's possible. That was not always the case in the Home Zone and PS Plus game. But Slippy slides, oh man, we just ended on the Slippy slides, on one of the most insane ways to end a match, and now we already have it as second. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, a Slippy slide. Get your patches ready, get your Slippy slides ready, let's go. First jumps, everybody gets it nice and well. Barbos goes a bit low, so he has to sacrifice a bit of speed, but a nice drift here. Everybody's neck and neck, and that is basically everybody within a 10th. Reducing the airtime here, creeping the gear. Panda up with a better line in this case. Of course, if you can get that straight airtime cancellation, you will be ahead by a 10th. So here we go, the first part. Oh, and Ratchet makes a huge mistake, hits the pole, giving Barbos the opportunity to at least get in front. Then NUMELOPS, oh, but Complex falling behind because of a bad cancellation on the grass. First slide, Panda goes a bit wide, Barbos more on the inside, able to keep it, and Barbos is in front. but so he's able to get a draw here, but he has to get first. Ratchet is behind. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's find out who is better at box slides. Barbos goes first, Complex Panda right behind him. Much more inside lines by the Numelops players, but Barbos is keeping in front. And oh, but that was Complex sliding out. It gives Ratchet the perfect opportunity to deny. Will he be able to do so? And he does it just like that. Of 3 victories served on a platter, courtesy of Complex, sliding out on that penultimate box slide, and SCHWEINEAIM takes another lead on a map. But can they keep it? That's the question.
Oh man, can they keep it is a big question, right? This is why I was questioning the pick of Reps as the first map, because it's such a competitive map, right? Everyone should be good on it, and it's a map that's not very Pepeg at all. It's definitely a map where everyone is within a certain margin of error, right? No one's really going to make a mistake. On this map, right, you can see massive mistakes coming out of the identity, out of everyone, or just a no drift like this in this example here from Complex. So let's see if Ratchet and Barbos can take advantage of that, right? If SCHWEINEAIM can keep themselves in good contention here, they can get themselves a 5-1 lead, but Panda could stop that from happening as he stays in the lead.
Complex is completely dead. Well, he's 2 seconds behind, but yet again, the decides here again. Panda needs to deny. He needs to pull out a feed or an enter from previous match. Can he do it? Panda up first slide. Perfect. Inside line. That is exactly how you want to do it. Can he keep it? Goes on the inside. He has a good line. Can Barbos deny? Panda in front and denies the ace and even the victory. Perfect. Exactly what you want. Your teammate was a bit struggling. Panda pulls through, denies the victory or even the potential ace. And Complex just gets a finish, you know, get a bit of practice on the identity. Hopefully he can do better on the rest of the map. And we go yet again. The draw sensation begins. Slippy slides beginning to show once again why this map just produces. Panda definitely keeping it very nicely. He's doing the inside lines as you're supposed to. You want to keep it as short and as quick as possible. You can go wide to save it, but in order to get the fastest time, you want to go for the inside box slide. And Panda is showing exactly that. Complex gets a bit of a touch, slows down, allowing Barbos to take 3rd place. But let's see, Ratchet and Panda again in the lead. We have a bit of a 2v2 in the moment, 2 at the front, 2 at the back. Let's see, can the people survive this turn? Everybody so far so good. Cancel the slide here. Barbos doesn't do it. He slides out. Perfect opportunity for Numelops to grab a few points. And if Panda has been as good as he has been for in the previous rounds, it should be a Numelops victory. But as I say that, probably I cast a curse it. And indeed I do. Complex absolutely dead. Ratchet and Barbos are here now. Panda again required to deny. Panda with the first big slide. Panda goes a bit wide this time, but he has a good lead, so he's able to take a bit of a safer line. And it seems that it is another draw. Condolences to Complex. Apologies for that caster curse, but I'm sure you will be fine next round. It's completely fine, ladies and gentlemen. It's completely fine. Copium inhale, we go next round.
We go again next round. The thing is, right, is for Complex, he's not done the identity cleanly once so far, right? 3 rounds in, no clean identity just yet. So he needs to be able to do that. They've picked this map, right? Himself and Panda. It can't just be the Panda show. Complex needs to show up like he did on Reps, right? Complex really showed up well on Reps. So if he can do it on here as well, that would be huge for Panda, because right now they're still behind by 1 point, but if Complex was in this fight, it would be so much closer, and I feel like they'd actually have a lead rather than being down by 1 point. Let's see if Complex and Panda can work it out here as they're in ace formation. Barbos has made a mistake. He's behind by over a half a second now on the leading players. However, Ratchet is still in this fight. He's in there by about a 10th over Complex and Panda, as Complex has a bit of a weak line. Ratchet will catch up just a little bit. He's now 40 milliseconds behind. That's a big mistake out of Panda. It now comes down to Complex. Now he actually needs to do the identity perfectly. He cannot mess this up like he did in the other 3 rounds. Let's see it here. Complex versus Ratchet. Ratchet takes the lead on the first set of bug slides. Can he do it again? He keeps his lead for the second one. And, oh, he slides out and Complex is perfect! And Ratchet now needs to restart from the bottom as Panda! Oh no! Panda snipes Barbos! We don't see it on stream, but we did see it in the finale on the top left there. Oh my goodness! And that's an ace! And what did I say?
That is insane as well. Oh my god. And that was the result, if I remember correctly, it was the result of Barbos making a mistake. He actually flew out of the water before the identity. We've seen it now happen twice for different teams. I believe it was Barbos, if not Ratchet, but one of them did fly out of the water there. And it's just a perfect setup. Of course, Panda, perseverance, gives the ace that Numelops has been looking for, and that is another perfect setup. Their old map pick, they are in the lead. They are now doing a good round as always. That 1-2 is very strong. If they don't make any early mistakes, of course. Yeah, forehead. Yeah, don't make any early mistakes. You're in the lead. Who would have guessed, ladies and gentlemen? Just drive fast. Now, but this is the first round where everybody's really close now. Oh, and Numelops have a very nice Complex going a bit wide, and as soon as again I say it, sorry Complex, I keep doing it to you. It's again Panda to deny SCHWEINEAIM from the ace or victory. Panda again going from the inside. Panda, when it matters, he's doing really good. Boxlight is going for the inside line and it's paying dividends. Barbo's getting close, but not quite enough. Panda does it again, denies another victory or ace, and this is just a carbon copy of what happened in the previous match. One player to deny all the way. Panda, hero of the match so far, just keeping Numelops ahead and now keeping them on track point as well.
This is huge, right? It's huge. It's 7-5 in favor of ORKS GP NUMELOPS. They could go up 2-0 in terms of the maps here. And for Barbos and Ratchet, that would be very detrimental. They do not want that to happen. They're down by 2 points. They would need to win 2 rounds in a row or to ace here to at least have a 1-point lead restored in their favor. Don't forget, they did have a 1-point lead earlier on in the match as round 6 is now halfway through, and Complex and Panda side by side. Barbos trying to catch up. He's behind by a quarter of a second. Can Complex and Panda here keep it together, or can Barbos get back into this one? Complex and Panda keep it together. Barbos does not. He's completely slid out, and Ratchet now has overtaken his partner, but Ratchet is behind by a second and a half. This is so far behind. Can Complex and Panda? No! Panda slides out. Now it's down to Complex. Complex needs to be perfect. He at least needs to win this round to bring it to a draw, because for sure now Panda should be last, right? Unless there's a mistake out of the Germans here.
Oh,
wait,
Barbos
there is a mistake.
Makes a mistake.
Panda's ace!
Oh, it's over! Barbo fails on the last slide as well. He hits the booster block and it's over. Numelops take it out of absolutely nowhere, from an ace to a draw to a complete loss to an ace. Through every single emotion you can possibly go through. That was all over the place. Slippy slides, delivers, ladies and gentlemen. It's such a way with this map. How does this keep happening? Slippy Slide has been the most entertaining map so far, in just absolute mayhem. You want chaos? Big Slippy Slides. And Numelops are now 2-0 ahead. And it's just, I mean, come on. Every team after this, pick Slippy Slides. Come on. Don't ban it, pick it. We need more Slippy Slides for sure. But we are now on slowdown, picked by Barbos and Ratchet. And we see a theme here. We've had a lot of technical maps picked by SCHWEINEAIM as well. Slowdown was a technical map, but they did lose it. And now we're back to slowdown. Again, a technical map. In this case, of course, we go to the reactor booster section. In this case, you want to take it as tight as possible to get the speed going. And we get to see Ratchet and Barbos 1 and 2. Now, this is a site you want to see when you're on your map pick. But is it in vain? We are getting closer to the identity. A few more drifts in and there. We go into the third section. Want to get it as tight as possible. Go around the circle. And now the final drift. You go onto the fragile block. You don't want to jump and break your guard. First drift, and as soon as I say it, Ratchet, Barbo still manages to save it somehow, and keeping up with Complex. Can he take the round? Not in this case, but just Complex sides out, and Barbo snipes it in the end, gives it an ace for SCHWEINEAIM, and there you go, the exact perfect start you want to see after the devastating loss from that previous map. Perfect start.
You want to know what's the funny thing? Is that we've only seen 5 rounds today of slowdown, and all 5 of them have been aces, right? 4 for Humyotsun in their matchup against BS Plus, and that was a clean 12-0. Can SCHWEINEAIM actually do the same thing here up against ORKS GP NUMELOPS? That would be very, very interesting indeed, and that would be quite the way to come back. However, right now, with Panda's mistake, Complex needs to get into this one here if he wants to stop an ace and go down by even more. So he needs to stay at least in second. If he stays in this position, in second position, right now, they'd go down 5-1. They'd be down by 4 points, but that isn't the end of the world as we head onto the identity. The first one, Ratchet, is perfect. A little bit of airtime, but he does it nicely. Barbos goes for the pack line as Complex stays in second place. He won't get sniped this time around unless he makes a massive mistake, but he doesn't, and so he at least gets second place. They're down 5-1, but it's still recoverable if you're Panda and Complex and ORKS GP NUMELOPS here. You could still go up 3-0 and potentially sweep, but SCHWEINEAIM is getting really close here to winning their first map.
And 56.8 as a time, that is definitely not something to scoff at. That is up there with the best times, and clearly they've been practicing these maps. Of course, Barbo's with an early touch on the wall, so he has fallen a bit behind, giving NUMELOPS now a chance to take advantage of the round. But so far, at least, Panda hasn't been really showing up on this map, but they are leading currently on 1 and 2. As soon as I say that, of course, Ratchet, the man, the myth, the legend on this map at the moment, clearly ready to take anybody prisoner on this map, and NUMELOPS is the target. As we go on to the next identity, it just comes so fast. This map is short. First slides, Barbo's clips, hits the pole, so it's a perfect opportunity for NUMELOPS to get the ace unless there's mistakes happening. And in this case, NUMELOPS take the advantage. Ace on the board, 56.9 by Complex, and immediately punished. No remorse by NUMELOPS. They take the ace pack, and just like that, your 4-point lead is down to only a measly point.
Hey,
and
listen,
that's what you have to deal with now.
1 point is still more than enough to win, right? You could still win with a 1-point advantage, but this is why Complex getting second place in the second round was huge as he hits into the wall this time around. Panda needs to do the same thing that Complex did in the second round, where he needs to stop the ace from happening for the Germans here, right? Because if Panda does not stop this the way that Complex did, they'd be down 6-3 if Complex didn't do that, right? And so right now, the fact that it's 5-4, if Panda can at least get first place, it would at least guarantee a draw, which is not the worst thing in the world here if you're Panda and Complex for ORKS GP NUMELOPS. As Panda currently in the lead. He's got a great time on his hands here as Barbos tries to catch back up. He's on his tail. Can he keep it together here? Barbos overtakes as Panda has a slowdown at least. He does not get sniped by Ratchet as well, but it's still a point loss, and so SCHWEINEAIM up by 2 now. It's 7-5 in their favor. Track point if they ace. However, ORKS GP NUMELOPS could ace once again and go up by 1 point themselves.
And Ratchet with an early mistake. That is not what you want to see, and we keep saying this. Early mistakes are probably the worst dread you can hear. Probably your teammate is saying, oh, I touched, and you feel a sense of dread. You need to now push it. There's no way you can hold back. Safing it is definitely not an option, as we get to see in front. Barbos is just doing that, but usually it's been Ratchet who's been in the lead, so Barbos now needs to show up and deliver. Banda makes a mistake as well, allowing Ratchet to now glow up to Banda, and it's a 2v2. Can Barbos hold the lead? Complex a bit behind. Let's see, neck and neck as they go. Complex flies in the air. Perfect opportunity now to Ratchet to come back. Can he hold it? Draw is now probably set in stone, but will it be a victory? but it's not enough speed. But Ratchet gets some more speed and overtakes Complex in the end. The last three giving us a show right down to the line, and SCHWEINEAIM is 1 point away, one draw away, one victory away from taking their first track point.
One loss away as well would even do it, right? They need to not get aced here, because if they get aced, ORKS GP NUMELOPS ties the game 9-9 and go to overtime, right? We cannot have that happen here if they want to just stay up in morale, right? But right now, Ratchet's made another mistake. He's again behind by well over 9/10 now. He is behind by a lot, but it's at least against his own teammate, right? He's only behind from the ORKS GP NUMELOPS duo by, okay, now it is 9/10, as that gets a very, very scary time as Barbos now falls behind. It is ace formation, and as they head into the identity, this gets scary. Barbos needs to overtake at least one of them if he wants to win this round and at least have one map win, but he flies! He's an airplane! He's not careful! He did not slow down! Overtime on track number 3!
Well, yeah, it is 9-9, but it's basically overtime because only a draw keeps us going. Now, whichever team gets a victory or an ace, that seals the deal, and your heart must be sinking to the deepest hells of earth for SCHWEINEAIM. You had the opportunity, just don't get aced. It's that easy, chatting, just drive safe, right? But it's all over the place, as we already see Complex making an early mistake, but now it is SCHWEINEAIM in the lead 1 and 2, and that is not what you want to see. You just got an ace and now you're just gonna get aced yourself. No, that's not what you want to see. Panda needs to pull in a miracle. All eyes on Panda. He is the man who can deny the SCHWEINEAIM victory on this map. He is behind, but mistakes have happened. People have tried to risk. You cannot save, because the risk is somebody will just do it faster than you. So here we go. First identity, pretty good for Barbos, and Ratchet also self. Ratchet flies out, so it's up to Barbos. Oh, but Complex also behind. We're going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Slow down is overtime. And our worst fears have come true. Now, how far do we go? When we had an overtime, it was over in 1 round. How long does it go on slowdown Quantum? How long do we go here?
How long do we have, right? Because this could go on for quite a long while. Both teams have shown that they are willing to risk the identity to gain that lead, but they risked too much and gained too little from doing it. So they need to be careful when they decide to do so. Right now, Ratchet in the lead. You have yourself Complex in second, right behind him, and Panda right there as well. Barbos is also in this fight. That's a huge mistake from both of them. Complex is completely out. Panda needs to win, behind by 4/10, and there's no reason to risk if you are the Germans here. No reason at all. Can Panda somehow come back here from the death? Can he do it? I think this is a big, fat no. There's no sweeps to be had here. Once again, SCHWEINEAIM in the win, in the lead. They ace this round, and they'll win map number 3. Now they're only down 2-1 as we head on to map number 4.
Oh boy, and we are going on to back and forth as well. A much needed win for SCHWEINEAIM as well. And as I said, ladies and gentlemen, back and forth. What are we gonna expect from this? Anything is possible. Of course, the tracks, all of them, pros and opportunity, but back and forth has been the most played map, pretty much, out of all of the circuit, and it just shows here as well. A lot of people are enjoying this map, or at least willing enough to pick it, because the identity is not difficult to do, because it has given us very close rounds as well. But it is a pick for NUMELOPS. So now SCHWEINEAIM, if they want to have a good session for this one and not put themselves in a do or die situation, it is a good chance for them to take the map. As we take a look in this case, Barbos already falling significantly behind, and it's not really good news for SCHWEINEAIM's point of view. And he also takes the snow. That's completely dead. One touch of that snow, that's a completely dead section right there. You cannot do that. And now Ratchet, all eyes on him. And where does Complex go out of the picture, flying to Auf Wiedersehen, senor. And let's see, can Ratchet now take advantage of it? He only has to deny Panda, so it's a bit less pressure, but he might not know that. So both of them are gonna push. Oh, Panda actually gets a nice skid mark there. It does give you just a hint more speed. And here we go. Who gets the better inside? Ratchet makes the mistake. That's Panda's round to take. And that is a good time. But the rest of the round, where is Complex? And bringing in the rear, Numelops takes the first victory. And Parkour's nowhere to see that. If Ratchet didn't touch there, he would have had a more inside line, and it would have gone down to the wire there on the finish line.
All right, well, that is the first round of track number 4 out of the way, and it shows that ORKS GP NUMELOPS are here to play. Let's see if the Germans here can do the same. Can they be here to play? Because they have shown up on map number 3, but can they show up on map number 4 here? Can they tie up this match? Or will it be a 3-1 lead in favor of ORKS GP NUMELOPS? Ratchet in the lead. He wants to keep that lead. 360, perfect. Barbos overtakes the 2 as well. And so it is an ace formation so far for SCHWEINEAIM. Can they keep it together? ORKS GP NUMELOPS still right behind them, but Panda goes a little bit deep on that booster, but he gets more speed than Barbos, but Barbos goes more inside. And so this is still an ace formation, as that's a big hit from Panda. Risked too much and did not pay off. Ace for the Germans. And now ORKS GP NUMELOPS look down the barrel of a 2-point deficit.
That is indeed a lovely sight. Brothers in arms, the Germans cross the line. Panda trying to risk, but he just clipped a bit too much, and that put him into a slide, making him crash into the wall. And as we can already see, Complex making a little bit, maybe not a mistake, but not very confident turnaround at that point of the ride. But Ratchet getting so much airtime, but that's just so neglected. And now it's again a 2v2 between the players, Panda and Barbos in front, Ratchet and Complex in behind. So it's a good POV to see who gets the ice ball the best. So far, SCHWEINEAIM has been getting it really well, and so far, all the players getting pretty decently. No major mistakes. Of course, Barbos has to release a bit because otherwise he wouldn't have made the corner, and same for Ratchet. So it has all eggs in the basket for NUMELOPS, but the identity, ladies and gentlemen, can they hold it? Panda with a nice inside line. Barbos goes a bit wider, so he has to go a bit stronger. Can Panda hold the lead? Panda falls off. Barbos takes the lead. Complex is now, and Ratchet goes for the inside line, and he crashes the triangle, and he missed the ace. He missed the ace by such a narrow margin. It would have been almost a perfect round for SCHWEINEAIM to take, but Complex keeps it until the end, and that little mistake in the end costs the ace for SCHWEINEAIM, but it is still a 3-point lead, a very comfortable lead to have, especially on this map.
Man, that was so close, as well as, well, ORKS GP NUMELOPS, they need an ace, right? Now they're down by 3. That's huge. That's a huge point deficit, especially this late into it. Let's see if they can draw it, if they can bring it back to a tie game, because if they can't, this would be huge for the Germans here. SCHWEINEAIM trying to keep it together as Barbos tries to overtake Panda here. Actually, no, that's Complex. Panda's made a mistake. Where is Panda falling down to? No, it's Complex that's falling down. Okay,
you got them switched and
yeah,
around.
I got them switched. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I got them switched as Ratchet currently keeps his lead. It's Panda in second place. Barbos is in third. But look at Panda. He's got more speed, more inside. Goes wide though. He loses all of it. Barbos overtakes, and it's an ace. It's 9-3. 2 aces required from Panda and Complex just to tie up the game 9-9 and bring us to practically overtime.
Yeah, and we get to see Panda has been going for the same line every time, but it hasn't been proven. You want to set yourself up so that final pole transition is as tight as possible, as Barbos doesn't get the turnaround run, and Complex completely out of the picture, slides out on the turn, gets all the airtime you can possibly get. I know there isn't a Dutch airline company, at least to my... No, actually there is. I can't remember the name. Don't listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. But I think It was KLM. If people can correct me if I'm wrong, but let's see if we can get it. Barbos and Ratchet here in front. Let's see how we do. Currently a perfect opportunity for Barbos and Ratchet to close out this match. Panda is completely dead, pushing the outside line. And I mean, you can cruise it to the end. I mean, you just take a corner. I mean, wave to the fans on the side as you go backwards. You can give a good smile. Everybody's clapping for your win. And I feel like, yeah, this is GG, ladies and gentlemen. SCHWEINEAIM takes NUMELOPS' map very comfortably indeed. Panda and Complex nowhere to be seen, struggling very hard on a map. At least that was supposed to be their pick. Or am I, yeah, supposed to be their pick?
Yeah.
So that's 2-2. Here we go. Next map.
And that was comfortable, right? Way too comfortable for your liking. And that is definitely hard to take if you're ORKS GP NUMELOPS, because you're in that sense, right? You're up 2-0, right? You nearly win map number 3, and then you completely let go of track 4. That is now a tie game, and you could practically forget the first 4 maps, right? This has practically become a BO3, right? This isn't a BO7 anymore. It's a BO3. Everything else it could be completely deleted. But the only thing is that now SCHWEINEAIM has the momentum advantage, right? That's a big advantage now. Because with only 3 maps left in the pool, this could get very, very dicey. Every mistake now, right, costs you big time. Let's see if Panda and Complex can get back to winning ways, or if Barbos and Ratchet can continue on their winning warpath. Right now, Ratchet in the lead, Panda right next to him, side by side. Complex brings up 3rd place as well as Barbos is looking on the outside in on the podium positions. As Panda lands awkwardly, he'll fall behind by quite a lot. Complex, though, is in the lead, so it's not the end of the world as we know it. As Barbos and Ratchet, 2 and 3. Let's see if they can keep it that way so that we can draw, or if Complex loses out here on this full speed part. He's looking good, really inside, but more speed out of Ratchet and Barbos. Can they go for the overtake? It's really rough. It's looking good, though, for the 2 Germans as they have more speed. They have overtaken, and now we're going to look towards the identity of Agility Dash here. This is the first time we get to see it today, and it's very, very fast. Blink, and you miss it. Let's go down to it. As Barbos and Ratchet tried to keep it together. Wait, Complex has made a mistake. Oh, that's huge. Let's see if Ratchet and Barbos can keep it together. Ratchet keeps it. He gets the first checkpoint, and Barbos right behind. He is looking perfect as well. They both are looking at an ace, and that's exactly what that was. Beautifully done.
That was clean. That was very confident as well, and I'm sure everybody's aware what Agility Dash identity is. It has produced some of the most insane, some of the most one-sided matches we've ever seen so far. I think a BDS match comes to mind as well. I do believe it was against ITB, but now we have SCHWEINEAIM and NUMELOPS, and in this case at least, SCHWEINEAIM very comfortable as well. And note to self, a lot of that gap was actually done because of mistakes on track. Only Panda really made a mistake, but it was at that point that Barbos and Ratchet was so far ahead in the identity that it wouldn't have made a difference. They did it cleanly, and that is what matters. Agility Dash is so unforgiving. Risking it can gain you so much time, but saving it can just net you a win. But here we go. We get to see that all of the teams using the tactic of using that bankment of snow to get a better line for the speed slide here. Everybody getting it pretty nicely. Of course, Complex with a bit more speed. We see Barbos and Ratchet opting for an inside drift line, but given that you're going uphill, it's paying off as well. Complex taking over at the moment from Ratchet. They both will have more speed, I believe. No, actually Ratchet keeping the speed, and that's a 2-horse race, but Ratchet clinging on to the second position as Complex gets a bit of airtime, falling behind now. And ladies and gentlemen, let's see, do we have any plastic bounces? Do we have anyone flying to Narnia? Here we go. We go on to the agility, Barbos, and there it goes. Ratchet flies off, Panda flies off, I believe. No, it was Complex, so it's Barbos and Panda in front. Barbos does take first place, Panda takes second, but where is no Complex? It's a race still. Ratchet, Complex, they cannot make a mistake. If one mistake can cost them the round, but in this case, Ratchet holds true and takes a victory. both of them making a mistake. You saw Ratchet flying absolutely to atmosphere there, and that is exactly what everybody fears on that map, but I'm sure the viewers are having the best time of their life every time they see it.
Oh man, it is so how can I say that? It gets me out of my seat whenever I watch this at Identity. It's definitely something that you do not stay sitting down for, because it's so exciting, it's so close, and on top of that, it's so claustrophobic, it being wide open, right? It's so weird how close it is to just crashing out every single turn, every single input, and yet you're going at it through full throttle. Complex currently fighting with Ratchet for this lead. Panda fighting with Barbos for last place, and that's still huge, right? That could still make a difference here, as Complex and Ratchet, yes, going side by side here, and Ratchet trying to keep it together. He's got more inside, and man, it's still side by side. Barbos looking at it from behind, and I mean, he envies. He wants to be in that fight now. He definitely wants to be in there as he gets closer and closer, inching his way there. He's now a quarter of a second behind. He gets airtime, and that's it, right? He'll lose to Panda as well. He'll lose speed heading into the Identity as Complex and Ratchet side by side. Here we go. Ratchet leads Complex, who leads Panda. Ratchet flies into the air. Ratchet Airlines has been created, ladies and gentlemen. But here comes Barbos. He overtakes Panda. It's not going to be an ace, but it's going to be a round win, at least for ORKS GP NUMELOPS, as Barbos snipes out Panda in the last moment possible. Ratchet will bring up the rear.
Yeah, I think we need an on-site track ambulance for every round. Nobody able to get it fully clean. There's always one person who's getting that unfortunate clip or that unfortunate turn, which bonks them out of the map, but needing them to basically full respawn, well, a running respawn, of course. But in this case, it's a huge denial of an ace, which NUMELOPS desperately needed. Of course, SCHWEINEAIM lose a point, but it's still a 3-point gap, as Panda and Complex look very strong. A bit of a wonky landing for Panda, but he keeps it straight and together, as Barbos and Ratchet at the moment left on the backseat view. They cannot, of course. Oh, Panda having a very awkward landing, needed to slide awkwardly into the turn, losing all of his positions. Here we go, speed slides into the corner. Panda in the backseat, looking as the people just properly speed sliding. Whether they will do it good, it's hard to say, of course. We are not S for the Andes here, so we don't know if those were good or not. Let us know in the chat if you can do any better. But let's see, Barbos and Ratchet in front. Oh, Barbos made a huge mistake. Again, open window for NUMELOPS to at least get a few points back. But time is ticking. Jill and Panda clips knife edge like Identity, and all of them make mistakes. Ratchet is in front. Barbos comes out of nowhere, and it's a 1-2. Panda makes a mistake on the Identity. It's a clean sweep for SCHWEINEAIM if they keep it together. And the boys from Germany, brothers in arms, take a perfect ace, and NUMELOPS, after starting so strong on the first maps, find themselves potentially going down 3-2 against SCHWEINEAIM, as SCHWEINEAIM needs only 1 point to win this map.
Yeah, they don't even need to do anything that much, right? They don't need to ace. They don't even need to win. Heck, they don't, like, just a loss or a draw, right? That's 1 point. The only thing they need to stop are 2 aces in a row. And with Panda clipping on the side there, they've done that to themselves, right? ORKS GP NUMELOPS have practically stopped themselves from acing this round unless SCHWEINEAIM does a massive mistake here through this map. Complex needs to keep it together, at least stay in first place, but that's not being done right now. Barbos has overtaken him for that lead. It's not by much, but he gets a cleaner landing. He lands earlier, has more speed because of it, and now he is starting to run away with it. Complex is now going to get overtaken by Ratchet as well. And now, instead of looking like they need an ace, they're about to get aced instead. If Barbos and Ratchet can keep it together here and go through the Identity cleanly. Panda's only behind by 1.5 seconds though, so if there's a mistake on the Identity, this could be curtains for SCHWEINEAIM as, let's see what happens here. Clip from Barbos. He's no longer in the lead, but Ratchet is still in that fight with Complex to stay in first place. Complex relinquishes first place to Ratchet. That's not what you want to do as you head on to the identity. Complex, oh, look at the speed he brings. Look at the risk. But Panda, he can't catch back up. He's behind by 3 seconds. So even though this ends as a draw, what a round by Complex. But it's too little too late. You've left it to the death. And SCHWEINEAIM is now up by 3 maps to 2. 3 in a row for the Germans. Well done by them. And it's a bit of a comeback. But don't call it done just yet, because there's still one more map at minimum left to go through. And if we need it, map number 7 will await us.
Yeah, and it's going to be Freestyle, and I'm beginning to worry a bit. Maybe Numelops had those first 2 maps on the dot, because those were the maps that they were actually good at as well. Of course, Slippy Slides, in this case, Reps wasn't their pick, but Reps is a very competitive map. And now losing that slowdown has started a domino effect, and we are on Freestyle as well. Probably a very dreaded identity, because one glip there is an absolute despair. And now we go into the round. SCHWEINEAIM looking to take this match 4-2. Numelops to tie it and take us to a decider. We are currently neck and neck as we go into the Freestyle. At the moment, first of all, of course, you have again a very technical section to start us off here. Make sure you get the steering angle right so you get onto the reset. And here we go. First mistake is made. Panda hits the reset block. He's able to continue, but it's a massive deficit. And now a familiar sight. A teammate makes a mistake and one has to deny an A-star victory. Complex, can he do it? He's currently pretty comfortably in the lead. Gets a very nice nose slide as well. Has a very good lead. He doesn't release. They're going for full throttle. I do believe it's better to release to get an earlier landing for better speed. But currently Complex in the lead. Can he hold off the German duo as Barbos clips? So it's all up to Ratchet to deny. Can he do it? Complex is so far in front. Can he get the final identity? Indeed he does. He denies the victory in this case. But where is Barbos? Where is Ratchet? They're so far behind. And Banda, after all of those mistakes by Barbos, gives the victory. And that is why you need to take that first place, because in case your teammate can come back from that big deficit. Now, Numelops in front with 2-1. And that's a complete turnaround what we just saw from the round that we had.
You know what's crazy though? Like, I just had a big think about this. Right? ORKS GP Numelops have not aced since map number 3. Right? Since the 3rd map. We're on map number 6. Right? That's huge. That's a big issue so far as to how they've gone down 3 maps to 2 now. They were up 2-0. And now they absolutely must win this one. And if they want to win, they absolutely must ace, in my opinion. Because at this point in time, if you cannot ace, you can see a comeback forming here for SCHWEINEAIM. As Ratchet goes a little bit too outside, but he'll still stay in this fight here. He'll be in last, but he's still within the realm of possibility of winning this round. Panda in the lead, though, by quite a large margin, 4/10 over everyone else, as Complex is now in the fight with Ratchet and Barbos for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. Panda a little bit slow, which allows Ratchet to climb back into this one as Panda stays ahead. Barbos and Ratchet side by side. Complex, though, a little bit slow out of the first identity. Can they keep it together? Panda, and oh, it's so close. It's not an ace, though, by 1 millisecond. It's so close. Ratchet keeps it together and stops it from being an ace. This could have been 5-1 in favor of ORKS GP Numelops. Instead, it's 4-2, and it's only by 1 millisecond, Kriidy.
That must have been the first ever recorded round on Reps where everybody's between 2,000, in this case 2/10 of a second. It came down to the line and it was determined by 1,000 of a second. Those are the rounds we want to see. But we see that Barbos has to respawn. He would have otherwise hit the checkpoint, or in this case the reset block. So now Ratchet has to deny Numelops. Otherwise, Numelops are gonna run away with this. And if this continues, we are looking at a 7-5, but Panda goes so wide, but it's at least good enough to keep up the pace with, in this case, Ratchet. Let's see, Identity comes around, but it can all switch around. Barbos is not too far behind, 4 seconds. If one of the NUMELOPS players gets a clip, it can turn around in a second. And just as I say it, Complex gets a clip, but does he have enough speed to make the second part of the Identity? Ratchet in first, he makes it clean, but is it enough? It is enough for a draw, but it's a crucial denial by Ratchet to keep the lead at the moment, still within 2 points. And that is exactly it. It's a bit of a relief for SCHWEINEAIM, but something NUMELOPS could have taken advantage of. But of course, if the opponent gets the Identity right, well, there's nothing much you can really do. If you're fast, you get the win usually.
If you're fast, I mean, you win, right? But being fast, I mean, that is a meme, right? Just go faster. But there's a reason why they just don't go faster, because you'll hit into walls. You'll be less consistent, and that's the biggest issue, right? Consistency. And this map is very consistent, all things considered, but you can lose 2, 3, 4 tenths of a second in every turn practically, right? So you gotta be careful, because 1 or 2 mistakes, you're behind by 6 to 8 tenths already. So you gotta be really careful, as Complex and Panda are currently 1-2, and they're leading over Barbos and Ratchet by quite a little bit of a margin. As Complex currently in the lead, Panda is in second, trying to keep Barbos behind him, but it's not going to work out just yet. He's in second place so far as we head on to the Identity. The first jump, perfectly fine from everyone, as Barbos tries to keep it together here, but it's an ace formation. Can he come back from the death? Can he come back from behind? No, he cannot! And that is an ace. It's a sweet ace. It's the ace that they desperately needed. They're up by 5 points. And for SCHWEINEAIM, they need a big comeback. Big comeback. They practically need 2 aces just to be back into this match, to be back in the lead, right? Because if they ace and then win, well, they're still behind by a point, and that's crucial.
Yeah, do you smell that, viewers, everybody? I smell a bit of a 7 map in the cooking. Of course, NUMELOPS in the making at the moment. They have a comfortable lead. A victory or an ace will do it. Even a draw puts them 1 away from track points. So it's now SCHWEINEAIM's business to completely deny with aces, and currently a competitive round. Let's see, will NUMELOPS be cooking us the 7th map, or will we go a bit longer? Promising signs at the moment. NUMELOPS at the moment, pod. A good nose slide by Ratchet gets in the mix once again. Early landing by Ratchet now gets a bun. Of course, at the moment we see Barbos a bit behind. Oh, he doesn't get the good gear as well, so he doesn't have a good speed. What's the Identity gonna look like? Oh, Barbos made some mistake. Complex also clips, but will it be enough? Currently, Ratchet needs to deny, at least to keep the round going. And indeed he does so. He keeps us going for 1 more round. And now the situation is precarious. In order for SCHWEINEAIM to win, they need to get 2 aces in a row.
They can't even tie.
Anything else? Yeah, anything else? It's map 7.
Yeah.
So all eyes on the boys.
They can't even win the second round, right? Because if they win the second round, sure, they'll get 2 points, but ORKS GP NUMELOPS will get 1 of their own, and so it'll be 10-9 in their favor. 2 aces is the only way Barbos and Ratchet win on Freestyle, right? Otherwise, we go on to map 7. SCHWEINEAIM currently looking down the barrel of map number 7, as it is an ace formation for Panda, and Complex as Panda clips out. That is bad, but Barbos, he needs to win this round, and he absolutely needs Complex to make a massive mistake, because even though Panda's made a big mistake, right, Complex is still here. Complex, if he finishes in first or second, automatically 1 point goes the way of ORKS GP NUMELOPS. And so for Barbos, he needs to win this round. He needs Ratchet to not go down by 16 seconds. That's it. That's GG. That's GG, yeah, no matter what happens. Complex and Panda have brought ORKS GP NUMELOPS to map number 7 after 3 maps in a row of no aces. They looked down to the count, and instead they take Freestyle in dominant fashion as we head onto our last and final map to decide who wins between ORKS GP NUMELOPS and SCHWEINEAIM.
And what a map to end it on as well. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what the final map is, it is Parkour. And if there's anything to look from the previous match, this is anybody's game. This is absolutely anybody's game. This is such a difficult map to get correct, even up until the identity. And the identity has switched us around so many times. And with our first 7th map of the series, apologies for that, a bit of a hiccup there. I hope the teams won't hiccup on the map. Parkour is underway, ladies and gentlemen. Our first 7th map of the day. SCHWEINEAIM and NUMELOPS facing off on Parkour. Here we go. Currently, everybody gets the start. Currently, we see that at least Parvos in the lead, and we see a strong lead starting off with SCHWEINEAIM. But as we've said, this map has plenty of spots where you can lose time. Just like within a blink of an eye, you can slide out here. No mistakes so far. Everybody makes it. Of course, Ratchet with a bit of a modest slide, loses a bit of slide, but he's still in the game. Looping so far, no clips. Of course, Complex goes a bit wide, allowing Ratchet to come back in here again. So no big mistakes so far as Complex and is falling a bit behind. Parvos in the lead, ladies and gentlemen. It is in the identity. Will it be mayhem? Will it be clear? Will SCHWEINEAIM take the ace? Here we go. First jumps, second jumps. The most crucial one is here. No clip so far, and SCHWEINEAIM looking strong. That looks like an ace for SCHWEINEAIM, and NUMELOPS left scratching their head. And that is the worst possible way you could have started up. After doing all you can to come back on Freestyle, that is not what you want to see as NUMELOPS. I'm not keeping it a puck 50 here. That's not what you want to see.
That's not what you want to see at all, right? And that's tough, because not only are you down 3-0, you did not fail the identity, right? Like, you at least expect one person to fail that identity. It's really, really tough. And all 4 players getting it cleanly, getting it perfect, that is so rough if you are ORKS GP NUMELOPS, because you might not do that again, right? That is a really big ask to get a full 4 squad of players to do this map perfectly from start to finish. No big mistakes. Already we see Complex already down to the count with a 1 second behind as, oh, Barbos, he also clips into the wall. He gets a slowdown, but he needs to reset because of it as they head onto the identity. Ratchet and Panda, not side by side whatsoever, as Ratchet, oh, he's looking down. Complex, he can come back here now as Panda, he makes a mistake himself. Complex could actually win this round with his teammate side by side. Look at that, 4 milliseconds separating them, and they ace right back. And this is what we expect out of Parkour. Oh. These are the kind of mistakes we expect, right? All 4 players made mistakes that round. The first round was such a unicorn of a round, and that's why it's so head-scratching. But that one, that was exactly what you expected out of Parkour. And the fact that they ace back, right? It's as if nothing happened.
Oh my god, I thought the last match was a hair puller. This one is going to be even more. Back-to-back aces on the map, as we see currently. Again, we find currently at least no, actually, everybody's doing pretty well. Barbos this time in the back as well. Now, perhaps the pressure is finally getting to the players, making mistakes where you don't want to see them. But we all know, ladies and gentlemen, where it's at. We are nearing it. Identity looms. Despair aware. Here we go. First jump is upon us. Here we go, that's the first part done. Second part, third, and now the most crucial part. Any mistake so far? Panda makes a mistake. This is an opportunity for Barbos to take a victory on the map. Ratchet gets it clean, Complex gets it clean, but it is not enough. Barbos takes advantage of Panda's mistakes, and they go in the lead with 5-4. But, I mean, okay, do we go through everything? We had 2 aces. Do we get 2 victories now, just to, you know, keep it a tie, and then 2 draws, and just let's do a 9-9, all out, gun blazing, golden goal, golden win, Quantum. Let's see who gets it this time.
To be fair, right, if there is a win here for ORKS GP NUMELOPS and we get 2 draws afterwards, it's 8-8, right? It's not 9-9, so we need 3 draws in a row for that to happen. It would be quite intense, because at that point, right, it's winner takes all. Even at 8-8, it's practically winner takes all, right? Because if you win the round, you're at 10. So it is really, really close. And if you win here, if you're ORKS GP NUMELOPS and you tie the game at 6-6, is huge if you then win the next round. If you ace, even more so, as Barbo's currently in the lead. He has quite a big one on his hands here, as Ratchet is right behind him. Complex, though, could take second place as Barbos actually slows down. Big slowdown out of Barbos, and Complex takes the lead. Big mistake out of Panda. Barbos makes a mistake of his own. Let's see if he can keep it together. He's not got the speed. I don't think he can finish. Ratchet's made a mistake. Can Panda overtake him? I think he can. Complex wins the round. But can Panda to ace?
Oh no, it's all
Panda's
over the
made a
place.
mistake.
It's all over the place because Barbos is making a mistake. Panda cannot make a mistake. They both cannot finish. If this ends how it is.
It's a draw.
No, Panda's able to finish.
Can he finish?
It in.
Oh, he does. Last second.
My good God gracious, it's everywhere, and 2 aces, 2 victories. Oh my God, Quantum, we are doing this, aren't we? We're gonna go to overtime on this map, aren't we? Aware. This is not what we want to see. Well, technically we do. We want to see more Trackmania, but I'm sure SCHWEINEAIM and NUMELOPS are looking at all of us and be like, come on, just let us win, man. We just want to be done with this. This has already been too much for our heart's content, but this is not over by a long shot. 6-6, anybody's game to take, and we can see it's a very close round indeed. Complex falling slightly bit behind, but still we are neck and neck basically, and we get to see as soon as I say it, Panda having a bit of a clip, so it allows SCHWEINEAIM to get in the lead. But this third turn is deviously, you want to be as close as possible to the edge, but Panda hits it as well. Now it's up to Complex to deny. Point of view on them. Can he deny SCHWEINEAIM, or will SCHWEINEAIM get the ace? First jumps are done. The mode Ratchet gets a slowdown. Complex makes a mistake, and it is. Who's in the burst? Barbos makes it, but where is Ratchet? Ratchet is following Panda, and it is a victory for SCHWEINEAIM. 8-7 the scoreline, but that is still an opportunity for any team to take the win, Quantum. Ace for NUMELOPS.
It's so close.
Takes a victory. Huh? Everything's possible.
Everything is possible here. If it's a win for ORKS GP NUMELOPS, it's 9-9, right? Think about it that way. 9-9, and we are practically in overtime. At that point, I think my heart would just explode, right? We got 2 matches after this, right? How are we going to survive if this goes to overtime on map number 7, right? This is only the first Playday. This is only the second match. Right? What else do we have in store here? Is Panda? He clips into the wall. It's all into Complex's hands now. This is it. Complex must win first place here. Must. Big must. But it's a massive ask out of him because right now Barbos is in the lead by 0.2 of a second. Ratchet is behind by over a second. But, oh, Barbos! What happened there? He clips into the wall before the identity. Complex, all he needs to do is survive the identity now as Barbos. And, wait, Complex, he failed! Panda's still in first! Panda is still in first! Panda wins the round!
This is all over the place! Oh no! Wait, where is everybody?
Where is everyone?
Wait.
Complex, he's looking for the ace! He aces! They win!
Oh my God! NUMELOPS takes it out of nowhere!
Not like this! Wow!
Oh my God, the most chaotic round again, like on Slippy slides before. NUMELOPS gets the ace, and they win the match.